is Monday, March 18th, and I just realized that I have not had bread or pasta or rice in a whole month as of today. 4 weeks, almost to the day. How crazy is that? I'm actually very proud of myself. I honestly didn't think I would make it this far without bread. And, finding the keto flour and almond flour breads, helps for those days when it's like I just want toast. But yeah, the fact that I'm not all like, oh, I want pasta, I want rice, I want all this stuff is pretty amazing to me. And we went to the movie theater today to see a movie. My whole family did. And while everybody had popcorn, I brought pork rinds with me. And again, I made sure that I had enough macros for all of that. I was able to also bring a chocolate fat bomb, so I basically had my popcorn and candy while we were at the theater, and I drank only water. Keto is pretty easy to follow as long as you understand, the parameters of it, and if you have an open mind as far as vegetables goes. And speaking of vegetables, I had decided to make myself a butter shrimp scampi on spaghetti squash tonight. Delicious. I have a whole nother half of spaghetti squash. Tomorrow is my husband's birthday, and I make him his yearly ribs. I have experimented and I've discovered a barbecue sauce and barbecue rub, keto approved, that I just love. So I'm going to make my own little rack of ribs that I'll be able to have tomorrow. And I'm going to use my other half of spaghetti squash to make a spaghetti squash au gratin as a side. See you guys.
That was when I ruled the
Alright, finally had a good night of sleep last night. My son is on the mend, so everybody was finally, for the first time in 4 days, able to actually sleep. And so I'm a little bit more coherent and better able to kind of come to terms with what the doctor told me as far as my cholesterol and what we need to do. So here's the new plan. I'm going to keep on keto. I'm taking an omega-369 fish oil. That's fish oil, 2 other oils involved. Anyway, it's supposed to really, really help with cholesterol levels. Doctor recommended, so I'm taking that. And I've also been re-examining how I've been doing this because I know I've been doing everything right. I've been staying away from vegetable oil and these oils I'm not supposed to have, and I've been leaning towards coconut oil, butter, and olive oil. And upon re-examination, I realized I use coconut oil as my main cooking oil and as the oil that I use for my fat bombs. So, which is can really have an effect on your cholesterol according to most studies. So I know I need to get better about leaning towards olive oil because that has a much better type of oil as far as cholesterol levels go. So that's one thing that I can readjust on. And for another, the doctor said, try to lower the fat intake and up the vegetable intake. So I'm going to allow myself to go from 21 grams of carbohydrates per day to like about 35 net grams of carbohydrates a day. Mostly for vegetables. No fruit or anything like that, but that way, I can make sure I'm eating a lot more vegetables and protein and less fat. Like for example, for dinner tonight, I'm making a chicken taco stuffed pepper with chicken, riced cauliflower, a can of low sodium Rotel tomatoes and green chilies and that kind of thing. And altogether for that meal comes to about, I think it's 12 net carbohydrates, so it's a little bit on the high side. But yeah, that's the kind of adjustments that I'm going to make now. More vegetables, different type of fat, more protein, and we'll see what happens. Thanks. Okay, apparently this is just a completely off week between my doctor telling me my cholesterol is getting too high, and I got on the scale this morning. Turns out I've gained 2 pounds from last week. I thought maybe the scale is lying, so I also took my measurements like I do every week, and I've also gained 3 inches. I don't know how that's possible. Part of me is thinking it could be because that time of the month is right around the corner. It should be starting any day now, so I'm probably bloated from that. I'm also wondering if maybe I'm not drinking enough water, so since I've got my big jug here with me. Anyway, this is just discouraging. Seems this whole week has just been completely nuts no matter what I'm doing. So normally whenever I get frustrated, my first thought is to turn to food, but instead today I took a walk. I just plugged in my headphones and I just went walking, and I didn't stop walking until I got tired. And then I mapped how far away I was from home, and it said I was a whole mile away from home. So I just walked 2 miles. I guess that's something to be proud of under the circumstances. Just like I said, I'm just disappointed. I've had a good outpouring of love from many of you followers who have been all like, you need to look into this and this and this and this. So I'm contacting my insurance on Monday, and I'm going to find out if our insurance plan covers nutritionists. And if they do, I'm going to see who I can get in contact with that's a keto nutritionist, because maybe there's something I'm doing wrong here. I don't know what, because I've been following my macros pretty much to the letter. I've been trying to incorporate more vegetables like the doctor told me to do, so my carbohydrate intake has gone up a bit, but not much. It's up to like maybe 30 when it's supposed to be at 21 grams. Because of the extra vegetables I've been eating, it's gone to 30. Maybe that made all the difference. Maybe that's all of a sudden pushed my body into not doing what it's supposed to do. So, I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to contact a nutritionist that's approved by my insurance and see what I can do there. I'm going to try to make it a habit to walk a little bit more often in the morning when my husband is home. Another week down. Just got to keep pressing forward. Thanks, guys.
Reason I can't explain. I know St. Peter